In this video we're going to be putting back together the LT77S, the 56A suffix G gearbox for a Defender. I didn't replace any parts at all in this main casing. I just cleaned them up, put them back together again. Stick around, you'll see why. So it's a lovely day. I got up early this morning, like 6:30, stripped this down. And now I'm going to put it back together again. The reason is, this is such a good little gearbox that I'm not going to take all this main shaft apart, because I don't think it's done anything. See, it's still got the paint on there, and if you look closely on the gear here, I think you can see it there. These are all good, and look how shiny that bit is. I know it's down to my extraordinary cleaning, but there's hardly anything wrong with it at all. So I thought we'd put it back together again. So the end plate here is on my bench. It's all been sandblasted and painted. I made sure all the pins are nice and free. That's most important to do that. We'll come to that later. The first thing we're going to do is put this selector shaft together, and it is sometimes a mystery to people, but it doesn't have to be. You have to do it on a flat surface. Don't do it up in the air like Paul Daniels, moving things around. Do it on flat the thing. So what you first do is you get your pin and your bobbin like that, right? And then at the back of here there is a gap. Can you see that? Let me zoom in a bit. So there's a gap there. Turn that, and then bring this one this away. Whoops. Go underneath it, and then this one goes over the top like this. Bring everything in line, so the pin, there's a gap there, so bring the pin in line like that, and then turn it like that till this pin is pointing that way. And you see those two little lugs? Well, they're kind of important. They locate with this piece here like that, and it stops that turning around. That's important. Have I said that? Must be important. Now the beauty about doing this type of LT77, they're a lot simpler than our 380s. Now what I was going to say to you as well, I should have mentioned it earlier. The bearings look superb. They really do. I mean, I can't see the point of replacing them, you know, just because we can. You know, there's nothing on them. What was the biggest problem with this gearbox? I'm just putting some oil on the bearings. I've got the main shaft down here, look. But I'm just putting some oil on the gear. Is that the shimming was all wrong. So whether somebody's taken to bits and done a good job on it, but the shimming's gone out, I don't know. So now we're going to take this piece and just simply go like that. Wow, you missed it, didn't you? Let's do it again. So I'm going to take this piece, we haven't moved, drop it on there like that. Alright, so that's how it's going to be. The next thing we're going to do is get our world famous Jubilee clip. Now, so we've now put the Jubilee clip on, and this is going to tighten this section to the main shaft. And the reason we do that is we don't want this popping off at the end, the third and fourth selector. We want this pin sort of at 90 degrees to this shaft, like that way. Not at an angle like that, because it's got to go in to this casing here. Got to go into here. Let's turn this camera around a bit. There you go. Might as well make a fool of yourself in big time. At the same time, we're going to pop that in. We're going to put the lay shaft in. Now the beauty about the LT77 was its simplicity, because the shimming, unlike on an R380, is done at the other end. So we're going to just simply lift this up and drop this in like that. Hold that thought. So I had to stop and rearrange my hose clip here. It wasn't in the right place. So now we can lift this onto here, and hopefully that's going to go into there. Yep. And now we fetch the lay shaft over, drop it in at an angle, and hopefully we can get this angle and this in to get on. Well, you're over here. Damn, I missed it. I wonder if this camera picked it. Oh, probably it did. Going. There. 'Tis in. It's there. That wasn't too bad, was it? Not that one. Then we can take that off. Now keeping that firm down, that's like that. Now this one here goes into there, and then this one here goes into there, and that's all there is to it. Well, not really. I mean, yeah, I know you can see, perhaps you can see a little bit better at this side now, but that's that all put together. The next thing we need to do is put the reverse idler in. This is fun, doing this bit, because I think in my little kit of tools I have a plate to hold that in place. One of the holes that holds this forky type thing in. It goes through the hole that holds that one. But it should be just enough to get that in. I'll try and find a better bolt. That one's not too good. Get a little ratchet and tighten that down. Because there's a specific way that we have to put all this lot together. This little plate you can see perhaps underneath here should just sort of swing away, because we've got to swing it so we can get the pin in, and it's got a pin underneath to locate on the underside, and don't forget the spacer. Now I'm going to wind that in a bit further. So that doesn't drop out. Next we're going to take this bit and this bit and there should be a washer. So there's a washer that goes on there. Oh, there's a slipper thing. Where's that gone? Ah, here it is. So somehow we've got to get this piece to go into here. Without knocking anything down. Oh! Goodness gracious me, it almost went together there. Let's see if we can drop this pin out. slide this bush across. Oop, it's all falling into place. So we need to put this onto here. I bet they had some fun at factory doing these. Take that down there. Now I think that only goes one way. Yeah, I had it upside down. So that little thing there will only go one way around. So leave it onto our spacer. Put this pin into here. Put that up to there. And then, oh, wow. This, we lift this up a little bit. That pin should go through there. You perhaps can see why this little pin at the bottom is kind of important. So now we're going to try and locate this pin in this hole, and it seems as if this needs to go down a little bit. Like that. Did you see that? Because I'm not going to do it again. Right, this is recording. This is held in by the casing, can't go anywhere. Now we can drop on the rest of the casing. That can't go anywhere because there's a bushing that drops down here. I do believe, I hope. That's that. So then you can put the top cover on. Now it is a little bit tricky. Now I couldn't find the proper grub screw that went into here to locate this bit. I found a sort of an half-ass bolt. So what I'm going to do is just put the spring and the ball back in. If I can find it, here we are. The detent on here. Ball just didn't seem to want to go in that hole. That's it. Now I've lost my spring. Put it back in the box. Now we'll screw this in as a temporary. That'll stop that from dropping, I hope. Keep it. Yeah. Keep it in position. We'll just make sure it's in neutral. Yes, it is in neutral. Hurrah! So, that was fun, wasn't it? So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit of a break, calm my nerves a little bit. Hopefully the paint on the top cover's done. Then we can bolt this together with some temporary bolts, and we're going to put some, what are we going to call it now? Hilo sill around this joint, clean it up. But to me all that is all back together again now. You can see the bearings on them are really sort of nice, you know. Now's the time to give it a bit of oil. All these pivots and stuff like that. All this lot. But without getting oil on the surface of the seal.